What's up, guys? This is the Gospel According to Mark with a C. He is I, and I am he. Just taking some time to tell you exactly what's on my mind. And guys, I want to point something out that I just saw regarding Dr. Anthony Fauci, everybody's Lord and Savior. Now, listen, I know that if there's one thing people are more tired of hearing about than Will Smith and Chris Rock, it would have to be this whole COVID business. But I just have to point this out, guys, because this is something that I actually said probably over 2 years ago, that Fauci, this highly paid, highly accredited dude that everybody's been listening to and hanging on his every word, he's finally saying something that me, an average dude, said something like 2.5 years ago, right? So far be it from me to let this moment get away, okay? So I want to point this out to you guys because to me, this symbolizes Dr. Fauci finally tapping out and just admitting that he's just full of crap. And there has to be some degree of acceptance, guys, that you were had, okay? So listen to what Dr. Anthony Fauci had to say. This is in the NewYorkPost.com. The headline goes like this: Fauci says it's now up to Americans to assess their own COVID-19 risk. You're on your own, basically, is what he's saying. Fauci is saying it's now up to you to assess your own COVID-19 risk. This is precisely what I was saying at the onset of all of this. You cannot have mandates for everyone to take one specific thing regardless of each person's individual risk. It goes against everything we've ever learned about human growth and development. Everything is always individual. What one person does, one person's milestones are not the other ones. You know what I mean? This is something we've all known. So why this overpaid old fart just got all of the accolades and stuff that he did? I just don't understand it, right? But it goes on. Dr. Anthony Fauci on Sunday appeared to throw in the towel on more government restrictions over COVID-19, insisting it's now up to Americans to make their own medical risk assessments. The way it's always been, right? Patient, doctor, I don't understand this. But anyway, Fauci says, this is not going to be eradicated. It is not going to be eliminated, Fauci told ABC's This Week. And what's going to happen is we're going to see that each individual is going to have to make their own calculation of the amount of risk that they want to take. The White House chief medical advisor said Americans will have to consider factors such as their age, vaccination status, and whether they live with vulnerable individuals when it comes to coronavirus restrictions or precautions. We're at that point where in many respects, we're going to have to live with some degree of the virus in the community, he said. The best way to mitigate that is to get vaccinated. If you're not, to get boosted if you're eligible to be boosted, okay? This is the part where he's trying to save face, even though he's actively ignoring the revelation that, Pfizer and Moderna, all of these shots have an amazing, incredible, overwhelming amount of adverse reactions to people. They're burying this, guys. They don't want you to know about this, but it is actually true. As a matter of fact, Moderna, a bunch of their shots just got recalled because a lot of their doses were contaminated, it was discovered. Okay, so contamination also. But they're trying to act like, no, that's no problem. There was no harm that was done. How could you possibly know that? You are recalling tens of thousands of doses of your virus, of your jab. So I don't understand how they could possibly know that. Anyway, they also Fauci's comments about the state of the pandemic were in stark contrast to the more dire warnings he issued early on in 2020. They also come amid the spread across the country of the now dominant BA2 variant, which is highly contagious but less severe than previous strains. Fauci said, while there is concern that we're seeing an uptick in cases, it's not unexpected that you're going to see an uptick when you pull back on the mitigation methods. It was said that if we do start to see an uptick, particularly of hospitalizations, we may need to revert back to being more careful and having more utilizations of masks indoors. Fuck that, Fauci said. But right now, we're watching it very, very carefully, and there is concern that it's going up, but hopefully we're not going to see increased severity. Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Fauci. But listen, guys, like I said, I just had to put it out there because I was saying, and a lot of you were saying out there from the very beginning, that the choice should be ours, okay? All of the mandates, all of the restrictions, all of the people that were let go, all of the ignoring of natural immunity, all of that stuff was an actual disgrace. Disgrace, guys. Okay, because in ignoring those things, these individual factors, it seriously hampered our ability to really figure out how to deal with this virus and how to treat this virus and how to focus on those of us who are more at risk than others. How many people who achieved natural immunity went running out and got themselves double, triple, quadruple jab when they didn't have to, taking from people who desperately need it? How many children were put at risk by getting jabbed when they didn't need to? So you're going to tell this lie that the risk outweighs or the benefits outweigh the risk when they don't, not especially not for children, not for young, healthy people. But they wanted to keep telling that lie. And of course, I have people coming into my videos telling me that I was spreading misinformation. I lost a bunch of subs from people who didn't want to accept that. You know, some of them even reported me, had a couple of my videos taken down. Never told one lie. You know what I'm saying? But here it is 2.5 years later, and maybe you'll believe it from your Lord and Savior, Dr. Fauci. But anyway, guys, I just wanted to point that out so you see what's going on here. Dr. Fauci waving the white flag, basically. Okay, and for all of you people who say, well, if they didn't have the vaccine, many more people would have died. You have no way of knowing that because they never did figure out who specifically was more at risk than others. Okay, so you have no way of knowing that, so miss me with that. But guys, you can get in the comment section and let me know how you feel about Fauci's comments. As always, you can like, you can share, you can subscribe, you can catch me on Twitter, Rumble, Odyssey. I am out there. Thank you for listening once again, guys. I'll catch you on the next one. This is The Gospel According to Mark with a C. Rock on.